All right, well, thank you, Ray, for being the moderator and facilitator for that last session. And what a great session, too, that was this morning as well. And so when the planning committee was exploring ways to meet our goals and foster collaboration throughout this event, we were really excited to see how everybody was doing their work within their communities and organizations across North America. So you can visit the display tables in the Heritage Gallery space near where we checked in, which is right over to the right here. And then you can also visit the website, which was emailed out, and then it will show you on the screen during lunch to visit our virtual presentations as well, and the presenters. So this morning, we are pleased to have 3 presentations derived from those submissions to share with us their work. And I encourage you all to follow up with each other, make connections, learn and collaborate with each other during this event and afterwards as well. And then we also will have time for Q&A with the presenters at the end of the session as well. So please jot down any questions that you have and we'll get to them at the end. So with that, our first presenters are India Madaris and Kara Skahan.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna share my screen really quick.
Thanks, India. Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. It's really wonderful to be here with you today. My name is Kara Scan, and I am joined by my colleague India Madarias from, we're both from the Minnesota Prevention Resource Center based in St. Paul, Minnesota. And one of our goals is to partner with organizations who are doing really great substance misuse prevention work, and also to help amplify that work to broader prevention professionals throughout Minnesota. So we're here today to talk a little bit about our program, and we hope to connect with all of you and partner with all of your great work moving forward. Next slide, please. As I mentioned, the Minnesota Prevention Resource Center is based in St. Paul. We are hosted by the Association for Non-Smokers Minnesota. So our office is located right near University and 280, excuse me. Our work falls into 3 categories. So we focus on training, communications, and technical assistance. And we have a pretty broad network throughout Minnesota that we can, promote resources and information. So we are one provider within a network of support services for substance misuse prevention professionals. And again, our goal is really to focus on the root causes of substance misuse and abuse. So we cover a whole array of support services. We'll go to the next slide, India. So as I mentioned, we focus on trainings. We host the annual Minnesota Prevention Program Sharing Conference. We're really excited to be in person again this year in October 20th and 21st in Duluth, Minnesota. So through that conference, that's a convening of hundreds of prevention professionals throughout Minnesota to share the great work that they're doing, resources, the current most up-to-date research. So we invite everyone at this conference to join us, share the good work that you're doing, and we really want to make sure that everyone feels welcome to attend our conference. Also through trainings, we host a lot of ongoing webinars, trainings, and all of those can be found on our website at mnprc.org. We also have a number of different communications that we promote out throughout the state, including our monthly newsletter, MinPrev, which again, you can sign up for on our website, mnprc.org. I also invite folks to check out our website. We have a very large digital library on a whole array of topics, including tobacco and vaping. I'm sorry, commercial tobacco and vaping. So as you can see on our website here, you can find all of those resources on our website, information about our upcoming conference. We also currently have a call for abstracts. Again, we want to hear about all of the great work that's happening in Minnesota on commercial tobacco and vaping. So we encourage folks to sign up for the conference and submit an abstract here. Next slide, please. And I think I'll
Okay.
pass it to Amy.
Thanks, Kara. So how can we specifically help you all in your prevention work? Because that's really the point of our organization, is to assist communities in the work that they're doing. So again, please sign up for our newsletter. I can send out the link as well to anyone who's interested. Get trained and learn, attend our webinars and conferences. Please share your expertise at our conference. Like Kara said, right now we're accepting abstracts, and I'll go into that a little more on the next slide. But also really utilize our services. If you need any information or resources and you don't have the capacity to find it or create it yourself in the time, like that's really what our job is. If you need any specific resources, such as personalized infographics, fact sheets on anything, any resources that are tailored to certain communities, if you're looking for research summaries, that's really what we do and what we can help you do on a day-to-day basis. And then if you want to collaborate on any projects, if we aren't the people to do the job, then we can connect you with people in our network who can do the job as well. So I just wanted to quickly go over some basics about our conference. It's a super fun event. And again, we're really excited to be back in person this year in Duluth on October 20th and 21st. So it's an annual gathering of people who are working or interested in substance abuse prevention. It's a really broad audience, not just researchers. It's really people from the community who are doing this work as well. You'll hear a lot of the latest research and data, but you'll also learn like best practices and strategies for prevention program building. A lot of people work in youth engagement who are a part of the conference. So there's a lot of youth engagement presentations, community organizing, mass communications, that kind of stuff. So if you choose to present, you'll really be contributing to learning exchange and professional development in substance use prevention and helping us all adopt some of these best practices here in the state. And then it's also a really good opportunity to develop your presentation and public speaking skills and really gather feedback on your work, because it's a really collaborative conference, and there's lots of opportunities for individual connection with the attendees there. And again, we have resources and support for people who are interested in presenting, so you do not have to be an expert researcher or writer to submit a proposal. We have youth who present, who maybe it's their first time presenting, so we really want to help you share your work with everyone around the state. Our proposals are due by June 2nd, and again, you can find more information on our website. But if you're not interested in presenting, then consider attending. Registration opens in June, and because we got a bunch of extra funding from SAMHSA this year, it is free for all attendees. So really you just have to get to Duluth. But we'll have 3 keynote speakers, over 25 breakout sessions on a variety of substance abuse prevention topics. And there are usually over 200 people who attend in person. So thank you so much. We look forward to connecting with you all. Here's just some pictures from previous conferences. And definitely let us know if you have any questions about our work.
Thank you so much, India and Kara, for that presentation. You have a lot of cool work going on, and really looking forward to that conference. So next we will have Susanna Bartlow from the Minnesota Cancer Clinical Trials Network.
Awesome. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's really great to be here. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here and just talk to you for a couple minutes about what we do at the Minnesota Cancer Clinical Trials Network. I'm the Community Outreach and Engagement Associate there. And basically, we are a state-funded project to bring cancer clinical trials directly to clinical partner sites in greater Minnesota. So you can see on the Minnesota map up there, the little stars are all the places that we have trials or the potential for trials at sites. As of March 2022, more than 3,200 Minnesotans have been enrolled in 60-plus trials at 22 sites throughout greater Minnesota. And we've been sort of an idea since 2017, 2018, and really started to hit the ground running just in the year or two before the pandemic. So that's how things go. We definitely have heard that from other folks here as well, but we're excited for the reach that we've been able to attain so far. As I mentioned, we are state legislature funded. We're led by the Masonic Cancer Center. There's a team of 7 of us, soon to be 9, and I want to ask my colleagues to just wave or say, hey, we're also here. Yeah, so we're small but mighty, and especially grateful for the network partners that we have, the clinical partners at each site across Minnesota, the wider organizational partners that we have, including some of the folks here in this room. The mission, the entire purpose of it is access-centered. So the idea is focusing on barriers to research participation. And we know access sometimes means things like if you live up in rural Minnesota, you don't have access to clinical trials that might be happening here in the Twin Cities, right? Sometimes that's what access means. But access can also mean you live half a block away, but you aren't familiar with, or you don't feel comfortable with, or you haven't heard about the trials that are happening right here down the street from you. And so a part of my specific role with the Clinical Trials Network is pretty new. It's been just over a year since I started. And part of the drive behind that is to really expand how we think about access and how we approach working with community. We do have trials open in rural areas where patients live. There's reimbursement support for participation in studies, and there's support for outreach and various educational initiatives, which I'll talk about in a second. In terms of the specific research support, we provide regulatory-focused and general support for investigators working on commercial tobacco and smoking cessation projects. And my colleague, Raina, who, can you wave one more time? Woo! Raina is someone who works really closely with that, and we're grateful for the opportunity to be of support to those projects. Some of the things that we've learned in that process, community-based research is often tricky to navigate with institutional and academic IRBs, which some of you might have had that experience as well. The definitions and policies are often based on patients who are seen in large medical centers, and they arise from a risk-based management focus. They might not be appropriate for all populations. So what we're hoping to do is to be a part of bridging the gap between community-based research, IRBs. That can require nuanced language, a willingness to understand the needs of all involved. Again, kind of that transition away from the way that people might traditionally think about access, at least in a real kind of urban-centered academic center. The other thing I just want to talk about is the educational campaign that we're working on. The purpose of the campaign is to increase knowledge and comfort with clinical trials, period. That's it. That's as far as we got. So we're in the very early stages of the campaign on purpose and being extremely, we're bringing it to you not as a completed product, but as something to say, here, we're working on this and we're actively looking for partners with that. So the idea is that there's an advisory committee of university and community stakeholders. We have community consultants who are paid ambassadors and experts who bring community interest to the campaign, and we're working with a vendor to bring education and creative marketing expertise. And all of these folks are coming together around the values of the campaign, which are, this is in the public interest. The idea is not to recruit more people for clinical trials, although we hope that, if there's a good fit there, that someone will maybe be more likely to at the end of the campaign, but that's not a metric that we're using. To really do it with a purposeful community outreach and engagement process, which also means take as long as it takes. By far the biggest part of the budget and the biggest part of the ideas that we have so far about the campaign do involve community engagement, so we're really going to take our time and do the relationship building pieces that are necessary. To represent stakeholders and to center underrepresented communities in the campaign. So I mentioned the community consultants. As I said, they're paid ambassadors and experts who bring community interests and expertise. What we're really looking to do is make a shift beyond consultation, even though that's the title that we're using so far. They could well be called community experts, community leaders. The title, what's most important to us is not the title, but is the quality of the relationships that we build in the process of bringing people on board or going to where people are. We're really trying to shift the model that is often the case, as many of you may know, at academic institutions, where it's sort of consultation or tokenizing. And what we're trying to do is build a network of folks centered around collaboration, power sharing, and ultimately deferring to community in terms of what needs to go in the campaign and ultimately what we want the impact of the campaign to be. So far, some of the consultants have reviewed and scored the applications from contractors, helped to write the scope of work for the contract. Right now, we're working on building a toolkit and some orientation training, some skill shares, and kind of workshops that consultants are going to lead with other consultants. So, someone on the team who is an expert in providing direct support to people who are unhoused. We'll do a session on helping skills. Someone else on the team who's an expert in Indigenous evaluation strategies will be speaking to that. Coming up, we're looking to bring community voice to the project kickoff and help decide how, when, and where the community engagement sessions will take place, and we will be bringing in many more partners to do that. We are learning. That is the main reason that I'm here. That's the main reason that we exist, is that we're trying to increase access and all of the things that that means. So thank you so much for your time. If you want to connect around the education campaign, find out more about where we are in the process, what the goals are, feel free to reach out to me. And if you're interested in learning more about MNCCTN and our study portfolio, there's the website. And for the tobacco-specific work that we're engaged with, RAINA is your go-to. So please come to our table in the display area. We'd love to talk to you, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Susanna. Thanks also too for everybody else who presented as well this far. And now we have some time for some questions, if there are any. Anything from the Zoom? And if not, I invite you all to get up and network with each other. If not, go to the Heritage Gallery and visit the displays there.